Were some minis of massive note. This mini is very, very well known. It is actually the Wicker Mini, as I've always referred to it as. Very well known mini, and that was original. It came out the factory like that. Mini Moke, very practical and usable car. Ooh, Mini Red Hot, another 80s limited edition, but we were chrome bumper but plastic grille. So when they started actually cheapening them out in the 80s a little bit. We've got a Mini Clubman over here, Mini Clubman Estate, where they did away with the wood, just had a solid metal frame, again to just cheapen down costs a little bit. Austin 1100 with leather seats, I believe. This is indeed. Oh, so many to go through, so many. I'm just absolutely lost in this sea. Too much. Oh, all this is nice. A J-Reg 400. I think this would be a 416. Yeah, 416 GTI with the spoiler. The GTI being the top one. I've seen quite a few of these about actually, but saying that, they're quite rare, but I only tend to see them at shows. 45 in British Racing Green, and it is a step speed automatic. It's only the first one I've seen apart from my car and Martin's. So again, another very, very rare car indeed. In fact, I'm actually going to put one of my new cards on the car just to let the owner know that I'm around. 55 plate, Club SE, manual gearbox this time with a hatchback, and the same issue with the bumpers. This one has been in a couple of bangs by the look of it, but it's here, and that's the main thing. Nice to see. And the car of my dad's young childhood, the Princess 2200 HLS, and I think my granddad's one was a HLS. It had these super comfortable seats. It's just such a charismatic wedge shape. It's really, really stylish. They just should have had a lift back, a hatchback. That's what it was shaped for, but they didn't do it, did they? Did a boot. Oh, I've just lost every sense of where I am. Another ZS down here, just tons of them all the way over the place. I'm going to draw your attention, another Rover 45 with serpent wheels. Oh yes. Coming up the hill here, we have got quite a sort of random selection of cars up here. Again, another late 25. You can tell I've got a soft spot for these later Rovers now I actually own one. So many different cars. Right, let's go up to the SD1 group. Ooh, C-Reg, brown interior.
The biggest thing they did was a V6 in it, wasn't it?
Nice alloys. Automatic, this one. 3500 V8 automatic. Bandon Pla EFI with the kind of, oh, I can't remember the colour, green, beautiful colour. Very sort of early 80s sort of colour. Rover Vitesse, the pièce de résistance with the lattice wheels. Manual gearbox. Has it been around Le Mans? Certainly shows it. B-Reg. We have a white SD1 A-Reg. Again with lattice alloys. Beautifully plush interior. Those. I love the way the interior is actually set up with the handbrake, gear lever and the radio. Although I've got to say, in park, the radio is a little bit difficult to access, including some of the heating controls. But the the bar, the block of instruments sitting on the dashboard, absolutely typical P6 carryover, but they just brought it into the 1970s and 80s. The ribbed rear lights. This is the SE model. Again, another Vitesse over here, showing its Britishness all over the place.
Straight, the dry road and it's snaked like that. Really? Let the power out there.
And here we have showing some typical corrosion that you might see on a SD1 back in the day, and some of them still wear it. It's nice to see something that's used, and maybe it's being used, and I love this. I absolutely love this. This is exactly what it's all about. It's not about show and shine, it's about making it here, and the fact that it's here shows that the owner cares for it and understands its value. Ooh, I must show you this orange. It's so strange, the orange. Ooh. I do like the 3-door versions of the 25, and they look so good. Typical scabbiness going on down there. Mini Mayfair, as you would have probably seen. I'm not a fan of these Rover caps, as seen on quite a few R8, lower spec R8s, but they'll do. They're okay. But this is what's got my attention. It is a Mini 1000. Because obviously you had the 850 and the 1000 throughout the 60s and 70s. That was the only way of telling the two models distinguishingly. But the seats are completely original, pure vinyl, with a non-original steering wheel, but most of it is original by the look of it. Lovely, tiny, tiny hubcaps. V6 going forward. Doing that. Nice distraction. Just going to walk down this line. I'm surprised the park has held up so well, but oh god, I hope you're sitting back and relaxing and watching this, because I'm exhausted. Nice to know that my one hasn't. Ooh, so it's got one good light, one foggy light. MG6. I'm not keen to taking to these engines, but the N series, well, not the N series, the Convaci engine is basically a K series, just redesigned, and they would have gone in these quite a bit. I'm just being followed out. I'm being bashed out by somebody. Again, really nice to see the late ones. Again, you'd have seen these trims on the R3s, the later R3s. And again, they started badging them like the 400 and the 600 as just 200s, as they were gearing up for the 25, 45 and 75 to replace all three cars. Well, replace, just in the case of this, just facelift it. Ooh, I can smell that a mile off. Parts, anybody? And the award for the most British car of the lot goes to this car. Whoever the owner is, I hope you're watching, because you've just won the award. Obviously this car it just divides opinion, this one, and this is literally just a few doors down from the one I've just spoken about. The award for the most divisive car of the show goes to this Rover 75. The owner has obviously loved this car and obviously still loves it and uses it and drives it everywhere. I have seen this on the Facebook groups, and quite frankly it's the owner's preference and he enjoys it, so what are we to question that? It's really nice to see the fact that it's here. Or MG TF MG midget with the spin-off hubcaps. Remember the spin-off hubs of back in the day, literally, instead of nuts. It just takes you ages to clean that. And at 6'3", I am definitely not fitting in that. This one is for sale. 3.5, open to sensible offers. It is a late rubber bumper MGB, which with some strange headlights, maybe LEDs, I believe, that not everybody likes. A lot of these were converted to chrome bumpers for many years, and now a lot of people go, no, don't, keep it original, keep it as it left the factory. And I absolutely agree. I think these should be kept. It's just trying to upgrade something that really it was never to be. I love the wood capping. Wow, that's nice. MG3 and Y-Reg, why don't we? Y-Reg. Used as can be depicted by the wheels and scabby rust, but it's here. And if it's here, it means the owner likes it and there's a chance that it will survive. have a ZS over here and an Austin Maxi here, showing exactly what you may have seen back in the day. It is really nice to see one that has got patina and is not restored or repainted. It's a 1750. These are hugely practical cars, hugely, and most people who've owned one have said really good things about them. Very underrated car. Cabriolet, an N-Series Rover Cabriolet. Very, very nice indeed. Oh, it always catches my attention when you have, oh yes, nice and clean. In fact, I'd say it's just as clean as my own example, but this being a ZR. Now it looks like the Metros have separated themselves completely as usual. I think every year they tend to be in a completely separate field to everyone else. Quite a few of them have got loud exhaust. This is where the younger enthusiast can kind of get a word in hedgerows really, particularly with high insurance costs of owning older cars these days. Metros are not great for insurance, never were, because of the fact that they're just so easy to steal. This one has been messed about with though. That would not have been a standard fitment. I'm going to start off with this beautiful early Metro City without the headrest, completely poverty spec. The city steering wheel, which was shared with the vans and the mini cities of old. Y-Reg examples are about 82. Next to it is an A-Reg, so you've got the poverty spec headlights, and here we've got the flush halogen headlights. With this is very common to see lattice wheels on a Metro. The original wheels went off metric tyres and they're very difficult to get hold of, so a lot of owners convert them to lattice alloys. Getting the correct tyres is very difficult. A gold Y-Reg I think this is a Vanden Plas, maybe not. It might be, depending on these wheels. I think, yes it is. It's a Vanden Plas. There is definitely a younger audience with Metros, I can tell you, especially the Rover Metros. M-Reg example, L-Reg example. Oh dearie me, have you seen the seats? That is so 90s. Oh, it's a Rio, no wonder the seats are the way they are. Oh. And this Metro City X is for sale. It is a very honest car on the surface, with all the usual patina and scabbiness that you would see on a Metro. With, yes, the seat fabrics don't tend to last that long. They are made of very flimsy material, and it's usual to see this sort of rippage. But so ironic. I mean, oh gosh, it's even rotten through where the aerial goes. Actually, I think my auntie had the same problem. My auntie had an Austin Metro Studio 2, and it had exactly the same sort of rot going down the wing and around the antenna. In fact, I think the antenna dropped through the car. It had gone so rotten. The usual standard cable ties. But I hope that somebody buys this, because City X's, I think you can count them on your fingers. We have some Rover 100s, the 111i model. More down to earth. This model, when the Rover Metro was actually taken out of production, they actually replaced it with the Rover 25 1.1. Didn't quite work out. People didn't want to actually move from the actual Rover Metro as such, because of the size of the car as such. You have a Knightsbridge, you have another one here, which is another manual gearbox. I am looking for automatic CVTs because, as I say, they are rare, and I'm kind of keen to assess how many of them would actually come to this sort of show. Turns out they're rarer than I think. Casino edition L-Reg. Wow. Okay, and with the filler cap, the old Metro had the filler cap down there. That would have caused all sorts of petrol spillages, so they moved it up here in a much more sensible place. And as usual, we have the standard Metro police car, of which the owner is trying to start it. Oh, just about. And this would be carburetted. sweet as a nut. A van. We have a van version with the poverty spec headlights. Quite a load lugger actually. Quite a lot of load space, and it is a 310 city. There are not many of these left. We have a mini metro over here. This is the automatic version with the AP 4-speed gearbox. These are so rare, it's untrue. Look at the beige seat, beige or brown seats, I should say. These AP gearboxes are very charismatic, put it that way, and they were the only gearbox for a large period of time that used the oil that the engine used, exactly like the manual gearbox. But automatics don't tend to fare well on gearbox oil. Some very different plumbing going on there. This is a J-Reg example. I can the early ones kind of show themselves quite nicely. It's got a leather interior, but oh no, it's a 1.4 GS. It would have 100% had the leather interior, but you still didn't get color coordinated bumpers. Even on the top model you couldn't get them. It was a later thing, especially with the Rover 100. Although if it was a poverty spec Kensington, no, it wouldn't have been. 1.1C H-Reg, possibly a carburettor. 1.4S and a Rover 100 Knightsbridge again. We have a late R-Reg, and this looks like a bit more of a plush model. It looks like a 114 SOI, which is correct. It looks way more plush, but body color coordinated bumpers. Excuse me if I'm mincing my words. I'm not doing any edits on this. And the police are leaving. Imagine going in that car. How dignified would that be on your trip to the station? Right here we have a 1.3 HLE, top of the range. This was what the most highest model you could get for a number of years. Weird headrest. The headrests on the first cars look very Volvo-like. They were trying to copy Volvo in quite a few cases. But the dashboards are just so simplistic. I think they got it bang on right at the start. That's a diesel, and that's an L series. Now, one particular car that I have to film because otherwise he'd kill me for not filming it is Lee Millwall, who provided the brackets to repair my Rover 45 bumper. This is his MG ZS in, I suspect, Fire Frost Red. It's immaculate. I love the steering wheel on it. Oh god, coloured nuts as well. And the headlights look amazing too. It's just really tidy. Nice wind deflectors. That does kind of help with this lovely spoiler. I love the little nuts that they give you to tighten it up. Gorgeous. As people are starting to leave, it's getting quite late now. Italian job going. I have to take you to this 216 automatic. It's just classy. Very blue in here, even the plastic's blue. Automatic.
And the oil got.
I tell you, there's so much out here, and it's really tempting because I have seen a couple of cars for sale, and I must not dip my hand in my pockets, but I might. It might be a surprise, or it might not be a surprise, but now I've got to go and eat. Anyway, for you guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. Hopefully I've given you enough variety to see at this show. Beatrix has made it. We have completed that task of getting to the Pride of Longbridge from a car that was going to be scrapped many years ago. Oh, I'm actually standing right in front of it, and quite frankly, I've had quite a few chats with many different people, and I'm now exhausted. So I bid you farewell, guys, and onwards and upwards to the next Rover video, which will be coming very soon. In fact, it's the next video. Take care, guys. And this really gorgeous ZS in Tempest Grey? X-Power Grey. Confused. X-Power Grey. Wow. This wears its paint so well. I love the finisher at the back. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So I just come in here. You got the two-tone, and this check pattern, really cool. Absolutely gorgeous. And it's so silent. It's actually quieter than mine, this. Wearing the hairpin alloys, which I prefer to the Serpents, put it that way.
Well, we don't stall it. Yeah.
Don't do that on YouTube.
Oh,
See you soon, sir. There goes your sister, your CVT sister. Right, I have got to go home. It has been a very long day, and most people are out, and I am being told to get out, and I'm going to get out now. Oh gosh, what a day. If you've never been to the Pride of Longbridge and you have a Rover, you're missing out. You need to come. Anyway, take care all. See you very soon.